All you need is to generate more reviews. The funeral industry as a whole is built on trust. It's built on referrals. When someone is going to Google and they have not put all of their arrangements together as of yet, and they want to start shopping, they want to start looking for options, they might type in something like funeral home near me, and they're going to go visit your website. But the chances are pretty high if they are within a tight geographic area around you, typically 3 to 5 miles, your Google Business Profile account is going to come up. And the first thing that they're going to do before they visit your website is go through your reviews. They're going to read them. And if they're like most people, they're going to not sort them by the most recent reviews. They're going to sort by the lowest. This is a common practice that's not just being done in the funeral industry and the death care industry, but rather across reviews in general. If you're looking to buy a product on Amazon, you're looking at visiting a hotel or an Airbnb, you can read all the amazing things, you can see all the most recent reviews, but people are drawn to, they gravitate towards those 1-star reviews. So there's 2 things that you need to do here. The first thing is you need to make sure that if you have any 1-star reviews, any low reviews, that you've tried to do one of 2 things. Number 1, you've tried to make it right so that that review could potentially go away. I'll do a whole nother video on how you can eliminate legitimate 1-star reviews, as well as how you can eliminate fictitious 1-star reviews that are typically spam and or being left by old employees. But if you have any low reviews, you want to at least try to get them eliminated by offering something to that family to see if you can make it right. Now, if it's been 5 or 10 years, for example, that could pose to be a little bit of an issue, but it's worth a shot. The second thing, if you're not able to get those eliminated, is that you at least want to reply if you have not replied, to show that you tried to insinuate that maybe that review wasn't overly warranted and that the family was grieving at an emotional time. And yeah, they gave you a 1-star review because the caterer dropped the ball on something, for example. So every review is kind of taken with a grain of salt when it is a 1, 2, 3-star review. But you want to show that you're being compassionate in your replies. You want to show that you're being authentic, that you're being real, that you're at least replying and acknowledging. There are too many funeral homes that get these reviews and they don't say anything. They leave their reviews there. So that's the first step to this equation, is we need to look at, is there any damage control that needs to be done? Now, historically and traditionally, this is not normally an industry where I see a lot of 1-star reviews. The good news is I see very few, and normally the ones that I see are left by rogue employees that go on and say, this place is absolutely terrible, when they never had any kind of case or anything like that with your funeral home. So that's the good news. But what do you do if you only have a handful of reviews? You want to go on a hunt. You want to go on a mission. You want to essentially put together a campaign to drive up your reviews. Now, there's some very, very easy ways to do this. Now, I'm going to give you a disclaimer so that when you're looking to deploy this, you're deploying it the correct way that is in alignment with Google's terms of service. So for clarity, you cannot incentivize somebody to give you a 5-star review. So you can't say, if you leave me a 5-star review, I will give you a $100 gift card to said restaurant. You can, however, use language that says, we would love your review, and anyone that leaves a review in the month of August, for example, is going to get entered to win a weekend away, a spa getaway, a restaurant, spa, all that good stuff. So you want to make a nice prize. And as long as you're not calling out saying the only people that get an opportunity to win this are people that leave 5-star reviews, you're welcoming any reviews as a chance to win. And then what I want you to do is to start to look through your database and see if there are some families that you can send an email, a text message, a social media message, and just say, hey, I know that we had your service on said date. We would love to be able to work with similar families like yours. Would you be ever so kind to leave us a review on Google? and you can drive them to where you're looking for that review to go. So if you have hundreds of 5-star reviews on Google, but you only have 5 of them on Facebook, you're going to provide the link to Facebook and say, we'd love you to leave a review on Facebook. If you have a couple of negative reviews on Yelp and you want to start to mitigate that, you might drive some of those to Yelp. Personally speaking, I want to make sure I drive most of my traction over to Google and Facebook. Those are the two that are reigning supreme in this industry. So look through your database and just look for some families, and you don't have to send 1,000 emails right out of the gate. Maybe you send 50 or 100 once a week or every couple of weeks. It's as simple as asking. But I found that when you then pair that with there's a chance to win XYZ, it starts to go up. But you also just want to appeal to their good nature. We hope that we took great care of your loved one and your family during this difficult time. Would you be so kind as to leave a review, leave your feedback so that we can continue to attract other families like yours? That languaging is very, very important. And if it's someone that doesn't necessarily know your brand, your name, they haven't seen you anywhere else, those reviews could very well make the difference between them coming to your funeral home versus the other funeral home down the street. If you want to learn how to generate more reviews, there's a link below that you can go and download our report on generating 5-star reviews on autopilot for funeral homes.